Howdy, you've made it to another SLOWGAZE video. I'm Diana here, and this video was sponsored by skinstore.com. Recently launched their clean beauty section on skinstore.com, and I was pretty jazzed when I found out that I could partner with them. I went online, found out that they had like 14 pages worth of clean beauty and clean skincare to click through, and I saw a lot of brands that I hadn't previously pulled the trigger on, let's say. So I did shoot like a little mini film within a film, super meta, about my morning ritual or just testing out these products all in one go. So I'll talk to you about that in a little bit. I'm looking down because I'm checking out skinstore.com's their definition of clean. I know that there's a lot of misinformation out there and a lot of greenwashing, but I do personally like to support brands that are making the pledge to check their ingredients. Their clean makeup is otherwise known as non-toxic makeup. They exclude ingredients that include but aren't limited to lead, mercury, phthalates, triclosan, and dioxin. These are red flagged as potential carcinogens and just are in general in large amounts not so great for you. I think it's great to just eliminate them from my own collection because then I can focus on a smaller subset of makeup. The clean beauty space right now is so white, and I want to acknowledge that before we go any further. I am making a conscious pledge and move to buy more clean beauty, but that also doesn't always fit with my pledge to buy more Black-owned and BIPoC-owned beauty brands, as well as women-owned and run beauty brands. So there are a lot of conflicting things, but I don't think that they're always mutually exclusive. So this was a chance for me to try some products that have always been on my list. Let's say brands like Pi or Vapor Beauty. My definition of what makes for a conscious and a mindful and integral purchase of makeup and beauty is constantly changing, so I'm happy to be transparent about that and just tell you that, yeah, I'm just trying to be conscious of what I'm doing, and I thought Skinstore was a great chance to try some things out. So we'll pop on over to my little morning ritual, and then we will pop back over here and I'll tell you my final thoughts after the show. So sit back and relax. I hope you enjoy it. Welcome to my morning ritual. I don't always take a bath, but it's really nice when I can, and I like to light a candle no matter what time of day it is. I start with a little bit of BioBotanical's bubble bath. It's so calming, and I start the day this way. I feel cleansed, I feel refreshed. On work days, I don't usually take a bath in the morning, so I like to start with cleansing my face. This is the Pi oil-based cleanser. It's rosehip oil based, and it does emulsify into a creamy, lather-free substance, and it just wipes away makeup and impurities without any tugging. I love it. Next, I go in with a First Aid Beauty Radiance pad. I use these every single day. They're so magical. I think I can use these and see my acne basically disappear because it's preventative. It takes a lot of the dead skin cells and a lot of buildup and bacteria, and it just gently wipes it away. This product isn't something that I got from Skinstore, but they do offer it. I just happen to have it already in my arsenal. Next up is the Pi Rosehip Bioregenerate Rosehip Seed and Fruit Universal Face Oil. I know it's a mouthful, but it is so luxurious, and I use this morning and night. Distinct smell. I think it's a pretty calming scent. I love rosehip oil. I used the Ordinary for a long time, but this Pi one I wanted to kind of upgrade and test it out, and I'm not disappointed. It's just so rich and full of fatty acids. It feels luxurious. It really plumps my skin, and I love using it. Pi has been a win. Sunscreen, I never go a day without SPF. I have everything linked down in the description box below. I wanted to test it on my tattoos as well. It claims to be a clear sunscreen, a clear zinc. I don't think that's exactly true because it's so hard and basically impossible to have a clear mineral sunscreen. They also have ones that are fragrance-free. This one has a little bit of a summer scent, as it's called, and I don't mind it, but if you're sensitive to that, they do offer fragrance-free options, and I think that's great. It's really gentle, and I don't find it too greasy on the skin. I just let that soak in for a couple minutes before putting on any makeup. This is Ncla Beauty's Balm Babe Birthday Cake Lip Balm. It is really melty. It's almost like coconut oil and it melts on contact. It's one of those that doesn't feel waxy at all. Really smoothing, love the scent. Definitely can see myself going through this. This is mixed in with some products that aren't from Skinstore, but it's also part of my own clean beauty routine, and I wanted to see how these new products that I'm using fit in with my current clean beauty regimen. So just using the Merit brush to put on some foundation by Westman Atelier. This is the shade Atelier 3. PYT Beauty's brow pencil is next. Love their spoolie. And then I go in with Merit's brow pomade in the darkest shade to just fix everything in place and give that fluffy look that I really like. The favorite blush that I've been using so far is also by Westman Atelier. This is their Chouchette shade. It's perfectly peachy and it really works with this vapor lip tint. It's called like a lip nectar. It has like a really blotted matte satin finish. It's really beautiful and it has a little bit of a fragrance, kind of honey flavored almost. And I love using it a little bit as blush as well. This is the shade Desire. It just brings everything together and kind of makes my lips pop. So curious about vapor beauty just in general, but in particular this eyeshadow quad. This is the shade, or the quad's shade, Labyrinth, and it's all cool tones. I think they have one that's more warm tones, but how different are these shades? I've never seen some kind of mix like this, and I was so curious to see how these would perform on my hooded eyelids, how they would mix together, especially that putty lavender shade. But it's really smoky, really blendable, and I'll talk a little bit more about it later. I do go in with an eye pencil. This is by Pure, their down to earth on point pencil, just to liven up the eyes. Then to finish it off, Merit Beauty's mascara. And there you have it. How was that? A short and sweet little ode to new products, and I wanted to just tell you my favorite from the bunch. So the three main brands that I focused on were Vapor Beauty, Babo Botanicals, which I had never heard of, and Pi. Those three I bought a couple of products from each. Now from Babo Botanicals, I liked them because they just seemed a little bit friendly, family friendly, almost kid friendly as well. And I wanted to try different sunscreens, especially if a sunscreen claims to be invisible and is mineral. I was like definitely intrigued. Unfortunately, it was not completely invisible. It does have a white cast. It does take a while to absorb in, but after it does, I think it's all right, and I think it will be all right, like passable for quite a few people. I haven't tested it obviously on skin darker than my own, but that is a watch out. I think it's a nice product. I would definitely buy it again, but if I had to buy one thing from Babo Botanicals, I'm looking down at my computer just to see my list of products that I featured, I would definitely buy the Oat Milk Calendula Moisturizing Bubble Bath one more time. Even my husband tried it out. We love it. It's one of those scents that it's not like a spa scent. It's not your classic eucalyptus, like very herbaceous scent, but it's certainly calming. A different change from lavender or eucalyptus. As I mentioned, spearmint too is pretty popular, and it also wasn't one that was energizing in a way that's a little bit off-putting if you're trying to relax, like a ginger or a turmeric. It works with other Epsom salts that I have, and it works with the candles that I was lighting, so it just felt like a really nice lather. It did feel moisturizing. I didn't come out of it like too sudsy or too stripped. I would definitely buy that again. Of the two Pi products, I've actually seen that brand quite a bit and I've never pulled the trigger. Cleansing oil and then the oil itself. I really loved the cleansing oil. That one felt like the perfect balance of like a grapefruity, almost citrus orange scent. It was also an orange oil that comes out, but when you emulsify it in your hands with a little bit of water, it does glide onto your face. It does feel like it's drawing out impurities, and it just leaves my face feeling clean but not squeaky clean, and the scent goes right away. Whereas the Pi Rosehip Regenerative Oil, I do love rosehip seed oil, but the one by The Ordinary is a lot more neutral in scent, whereas this one has quite a strong scent, and I wasn't sure if I would like it. I have been using it on all other parts of my body, and I really like that. It just absorbs quickly. It feels plumping, very nourishing, like super fatty. Like you can tell when something's really getting in there. I like it so far. I would probably not purchase that again, but I would buy the Rosehip cleansing oil. The birthday cake lip balm is great. I don't love the taste of it, but I love everything else about it. The scent is great. It goes away. After a little bit, you apply it, you have that like nice little hit of dessert. And after that, it just makes your lips, I'm wearing it right now, it makes your lips feel really moisturized, but also glossy. Like it gives you that glossy look. It's slippy, it's not tacky or waxy, and I think it makes for a really good lip balm. It does melt almost like coconut oil. You have to be wary of it spilling out or making it a bit of a mess sometimes. But if you're in a fine, cool climate and you aren't traveling with it all the time, it's like a little perfect pot of birthday cake that you can pop on anytime. I'm really enjoying it. So I would definitely get one of their flavors again. They have so many flavors. They also have lip scrubs, which I was interested in, but in the end, the birthday cake lip balm, it won. And finally, of the Vapor Beauty, I like their lip nectar, their desire color. I think that it's one of those like Kosas Rose Water, one of those where it's sheer, it has that pink color that's going to be universal in that opacity, and it's going to bump up any natural lip pigment that you already have. And I think it really works as blush because it's not too satiny, it's not too glossy, it's not too matte. It just gives that nice flush, that pinched cheek flush. So I do like it in a sense that you could multi-use it, and it's not just perfect for lips or perfect for cheeks, it's good for both. If I had to say of the two Vapor products that I got, which is my favorite, I wanted to bring out this guy again, the Eyeshadow Quad in Labyrinth, because it is special, and I had alluded to that in the video. Yes, they're cool toned, but I rarely see a putty color quite like this. It's like a mauvey taupe, it's like an elephant skin, but it is quite purple and chalky and pink at the same time. Like, I'm gonna swatch it for you, but it's very hard to describe what effect it has on the lids, because when you veil it onto the skin, it does melt away. It feels a little chalky in hand, but once you actually apply it, it does smooth out and kind of like, again, veil on the skin, and it gives just a hint, what I'm calling like a moonstone hint of this sophisticated wash of color that might be lighter than your skin tone, right? But it's not unflattering. I was so scared that this was gonna make me look dead, and it's kind of buildable. You can see that I'm actually laying on the shade quite a bit. I think it's fascinating. I haven't quite figured out how to use it fully, but I think it'll look good if you have cool undertones. I think it's nice even on really dark skin, because it's going to give you a nice like cool urban gray tone without it looking dead. Detect just a little satin hint, so it's a really subtle shade. So I think this is really special because it's not like a usual transition shade. It's not supposed to blend in or match like one person's skin tone, which I really appreciate. And then these three are also really special. This one's obviously the lightest of the three, but I could say that all three of these are basically mid to deep shades. And why I think that's weird is because usually quads have like a light, a medium, and then a darker, and then the darkest, right? But this one has no such framework, and this one is the shimmeriest. So the formula is pretty dry. It does feel like you pick it up and you can see almost texture pilling on the top of my finger there. It's not just a smooth, creamy matte or a creamy metallic. It does pick up a little bit dry, but I don't find that it has too much fallout. And then when you put it on, it does pick up a perfect amount of light. So these, I think, are like oyster colors, like colors from the sea, like a sea kelp and a barnacle brown that's kind of purpley. And this one has a beautiful oyster shimmer to it. It feels iridescent, and this one also feels a bit like the inside of an oyster, so they're kind of beautiful. And then they're all cased in this strange sea glass minty shade. I've just never seen a quad quite like this. You shift to the green shade, and this khaki olive tone is really kind of warm compared to this bluer, almost purple gray. And then the brown that's left also packs quite a chalky little punch. Again, I don't expect these to be creamy on anyone, but they do pay off beautifully. And then what I loved about it is that if you're not into any of these shades as one, you can mix all three of them together, and then you get this multi-dimensional, almost black brown that can work as liner, which is what I'm wearing right now. It's kind of just put into my lash line and it's smoked out on top of all these shades. I'm wearing actually all shades on my lids right now. Again, this shade, this putty oyster shade, is all over my lids, but you almost can't detect it. Sleeper hit, and I just wanted to mention that again. This is probably the one that I would buy again from Vapor. I know that the great and venerable Michelle Wong here on YouTube, she did do, I think she picked up this exact quad without me knowing, like we just kind of happened to do it in tandem, but my video is coming out after the fact. I haven't watched her video because I wanted to give my own little take on it before doing so, but I did see that she picked it up. There are your shades again. This one is the one that's all mixed up, and I just hope you enjoyed this video. I certainly had fun filming a little segment that's a little different from my usual stuff, but I was so happy to commune with you. Let me know what kind of clean beauty you're into these days, especially if they are Black owned. I know LYS Beauty on Sephora happens to be still sold out, completely sold out, but the good news is that skinstore.com does have a bunch of different brands for you to try. They do consider a lot more brands clean, like Stila, La Roche-Posay, even, what was it, Peter Thomas Roth? Like there were a couple more that I was surprised to hear about. So depending on your own rules or categories of clean skincare and beauty, check them out. I do have 25% off of your order. Down in the description box below, I do get a little kickback if you do shop through there, but you are supporting me. You do have to use my code Diana. Very nice. I'm glad that I'm like not Diana number 1 or Diana number 28. I just happen to be Diana. Pop that code in, get your 25%. I think there are some exclusions. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you want to see again next. Are you into clean beauty? How are you shopping for it? Where are your favorite destinations? Skinstore.com really surprised me with how much they offered. Just saying, because CredoBeauty.com used to be my mecca for that. Sephora really needs to catch up. I don't think that that's a destination. They happen to have a lot of brands, but they're not clean. Places like Black and Green, the Black artisanal marketplace that is also environmentally friendly and non-toxic. I love that marketplace, but it's also a little less heavy on the makeup. They're way more into the skincare and body care and hair care, which perfection. So let me know. I hope that you enjoyed this. I think I just said that for the third time. I really hope that you enjoyed this. Take care until the next video, and I'll see you soon. Adios.